to rob him, but in the process, he died. And it's affected me ever since. I don't wish that feeling upon anyone. And once I grew up enough to realize what I did and the consequences of what I did, I not only hurt his family, I hurt my family, I hurt people I didn't even know. For the simple fact of is everything that I did as a kid, now if some other kid does something similar, he's getting judged for things I did. He's going to be pointed at, oh, he's just like that Clayton Bossy kid. Watch out for him. So I learned that I affected a whole lot of lives, not just mine and Edwin's. So that was a huge thing. Um, so, like I said, when I first got locked up, I was young and wild. Got in a lot of fights. I got bounced around from St. Cloud to Oak Park Heights, to Stillwater, to Rush City, and there is a lot of true monsters in there. But there are a lot of good guys too that have made mistakes and changed. So I sought them guys out after a while. After I just got sick and tired of being sick and tired, I started seeking them type of guys out and staff. There's a lot of good staff in there that will help you. And so I started changing. I started thinking ahead, thinking about if I do something, what's going to be the result? What's going to be the ripple effect or the butterfly effect, as they call it. So my thing was, if I ever got that chance, I never wanted to come back to prison. I didn't want to come back to prison because was seeing so many guys come back. They'd come in, they would do nothing with their time besides screw around, play cards, gamble, fight, all that stuff. And they would get out and they'd come back and they'd piss and moan about it, saying, you can't get a job, you can't do this, everyone's out to get you, blah, 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 blah. I just didn't want to be that guy because I knew there was a different path. So instead of the fighting and the gambling and the playing around, horsing around, I chose to look at education. And as a kid, I dropped out of school before I was 16. The principal was happy to get rid of me. So he told me just to stop coming to school. He'll sign me that I'm there. That's how much of a knucklehead I was. So, like I said, I got into education. I now have 4 college degrees. If someone would have told me as a kid, you're going to go to college or you're going to go to school on purpose and do trigonometry on purpose, I'd have said you were out of your mind. I hate school. But I learned that I have different ways of studying. So that's going to be a big thing too, is finding that little way of studying that works for me. So anyways, I got vocational carpentry. I got clean energy through Fond du Lac Community College, a CTEC, which is fiber optic copper, and let's say painting and decorating already.
Mm-mm.
Okay, painting and decorating with the Century College. That's drywall painting. I never knew there was so much about painting. But I got into the metal shop. So I was running a metal shop for a while inside in Stillwater. Plasma table, press brakes, all that stuff. And then they started a rule where you had to change jobs every 4 years because they didn't want us getting comfortable. Because, God forbid we learn a trade. So I went up to the electric shop. Man, that was such a blessing. So I view it as certain things that I think are bad at the time. I try to look maybe something's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So I got an electric shop. I loved it. And as I said in the very beginning, I'm an electrician out here right now. It's great. It's incredible. I love going to work. It's awesome. So anyways, like I said, there is so much more of the prison story. I don't want to bore you all with it. I'm sure Ms. Birdie, she can take questions and I'll definitely answer any questions you have. But I'm more than open about it.
Yeah. Do anybody have any questions? If you do, you can come up. You can raise your hand and come up. But I do have a question. How have you knowing me, Miss Birdie? And how have you knowing me helped you a little bit?
Oh, looking at the kids,
Mm-hmm.
because you work so much with the kids. That's why I push on you to get that talent show out there,
Mm-hmm.
because kids need productive stuff to do. Because a bored kid, I mean, you can throw all the medications you want at them, it's just going to dumb them down.
Mm-hmm.
You got to keep kids busy. Kids are high energy. So
Mm-hmm.
if you find something positive for them to do, that's what you need to do. And like I said, some kid might learn that acting might be his thing, or a comedian. There's
Mm-hmm.
all kinds of different things that these kids are not getting put into nowadays. They're so focused, buried in their phones.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's when I first got out, like I said, I got locked up before the internet was out there, before cell phones were a big thing. When I was last out, a cell phone was that big giant block that you
Mm-hmm.
knew you were going to fry your brain when you listened to it.
Mm-hmm.
So now I see these people are buried in their phones. It's like that movie Shawshank Redemption,
Mm-hmm.
when Brooks gets out and says, the world went and got in a great big damn hurry. That's
Mm-hmm.
exactly what happened. Everyone's has instant contact to everything. We need to take time and learn ourselves. These kids need to learn who they are, how they learn, in order to function in society. Because burying your face in a phone is not a good way to function in society.
That is so true. Tasha, did you have a question?
Yes, good evening, everyone. I wanted to ask you, I believe you said you've been out now for 5 months.
Yes.
And you're in a halfway house and you're working, you've been working for 5 months.
Yes.
You're in the halfway house and you're working as an electrician. I just wanted to applaud you for coming out and having the sense in there to get a trade that you could come out and be gainfully employed at. You know, I am excited for you and your journey. You sound like you have a passion toward the kids, so maybe that's something you'll find yourself doing in the future, is rearing some of these hard-headed kids up today in the right direction. And my question for you are, what are some of your plans when you gain your full freedom outside the halfway house?
Well,
if you could mind sharing any.
No, absolutely. Like I said, I am one of them guys. I'm super open. I mean, sometimes maybe too open. But
That's about transparency, and it's a good thing.
yes, that's exactly it. I love to talk. You know, like I said, I'll text and whatnot a little bit, but I'm a talker. So, anyways, your question. My thing is, I've told Birdie this already. She's trying to get some kind of like a building where she can have like talent shows and stuff like that. Well, there's a lot of buildings around here, so to be able to volunteer my time to upgrade this stuff, being at that, you know, I worked for Habitat for Humanity for 2 years when I was in minimum, because we would go out into the community to work. So I learned how to build houses. I not only went to school for it, I did it. So I have the knowledge to do all this stuff. So I have a knowledge to pretty much do everything. I just did some plumbing yesterday. So I have the knowledge to do this stuff to help people get places like this started, to find these people that have these beat up ass houses and help them better them houses and not bury them in debt, you know? So that's really what I look forward to. And so I like volunteering. So that'll be a big thing. We can't do it right now, which I've a lot of the DOC rules are something happened like back in 1500 BC, so they just blanket policy where you can't do it anymore. So a lot of that stuff, it's frustrating, but I understand because I'm not going to be in here forever. So when I am finally, you know, out of here and I can do stuff like that, I'm definitely going to be doing that, because I make enough money at my job where I don't need to worry about that anymore. I can do free stuff and not have to suffer.
That is awesome. That is just so awesome. So I'm happy to hear that. And now that you know that volunteering is something that you know you want to do, and you know what area you want to volunteer in, is there anything outside of volunteering, like with your skills? Do you plan on furthering your education, turning it into LLC or a DBA, or creating a business for yourself?
Oh, absolutely. Like I said, I like to flip houses. That's one thing I want to do, and then be able to sell it back and not have, have a cheaper house for them to pay. So they're not paying like a $200,000 house. They can get it for 150. They can basically just pay, bare minimum cost, but it's an awesome living house. So definitely that. And then I like woodworking too. So in carpentry, we had a laser machine that would burn wood, and I made a lot of stuff there. People's names, different signs, cornhole boards, burning stuff on there. So I'd like to do that on the side too, once I have my own little garage.
That sounds awesome.
But just different, different things like that. Like I said, I'm all about helping. Like here at the halfway house, I pretty much do all the maintenance here. And there really hasn't been anything I haven't fixed here. They had a freezer that hadn't worked for a long time. I got that up and running for them. The back lights hadn't worked for years. I found, not to bore you with the story, but there was photo eye, which senses the light and dark, and it turns it on and off. And there was a timer on it. So they were arguing with each other. One would say, I want power. The other one was like, no, you don't get it. So they never came on. So I was able to figure that out and get the lights on. So just stuff like that I like to be able to do for people. And it doesn't cost them anything. So they're actually saving money so they can use it in other places. And that's what I want to do for my friends and other people out there.
That is awesome. Any more questions, Miss Tasha?
Yes, my last question. This is kind of just to get you to thinking, because I don't know you, but just hearing your story, it is very, very encouraging. However, I would like to know, with all the positivity you have going on for yourself, you have a plan to move forward with your life, you know exactly what you want to do. What parameters do you have in place when life throws you a curveball? When something happens, like you're in the wrong place at the wrong time, or you inadvertently get pulled into a situation where it could jeopardize your livelihood, such as a situation where you might be put back in prison.
Well, like I said, things can happen. I've just come to learn that, but I've become a professional duck and dodger of stupidity.
Oh.
I mean, I really have. I'm hyper aware of stuff, so I can kind of see certain things if they start escalating, and I'm comfortable enough with myself where I don't really care if someone thinks I'm like a nerd or something. If I just walk away, like the drinking things come up numerous times. Like say, get on, let's go have a beer. I don't want one, man. But I don't want one. It's one of them things that. Not only that, but like I said, on the inside, I took many classes. I took cognitive skill classes, thinking for a change and building character, that deal with situations like that. That knowing our backstories dictates how we view the world. So how we were raised, our environment, all dictates how we judge and view the world. So being able to look at that and not be, or basically be unbiased, be able to look at a situation and deal with it. So I'm very calm, and I'm usually well versed enough to talk to the person to hopefully calm something down if it's there. And if like something's happening that's not my business, I'm fine with keeping it not my business.
Excellent.
I love it. Perfect. I heard that you took a lot of, classes in there as far as trades and things like that. But this last question brought out what I really wanted to hear, is
Yeah.
You did work. You dug deep inside and found out what was ailing you, what was wrong with you, and what you needed to do for you to get better. And I just love it. I love it. I can't wait to hear more about your successes.
Well, thank you.
Hey, Miss Ash.
Guess who?
Did
Where
you?
y'all been?
We asking him questions on his success from street to prison back to the streets.
I'm sitting here talking to you from my mic. Oh, turn me on.
No, this is Mr. Clayton.
Hello.
Hey, Mr. How you doing?
I am doing well. How are you?
You know what? I can't complain.
I have one question for you, Mr. Clayton.
Yes.
So she hit on a lot of different subjects, but I want to hit on one that you see the child see a child doing the same thing that you used to do.
Yep.
How would you go and motivate this child? And this child is a knucklehead.
You got to be patient with them. My thing was I didn't really get the fortune to have a role model in my life. My dad was always working, so it was basically me raising myself. So just to be able to have them know that someone cares about them, no matter good or bad, that they're there for them, and be able to guide them without. I guess it'd be, and I guess it's not the politically correct thing, but to guide them in a way that you're manipulating them to do good, where you get little reinforcements for the good things. Because I think people are starting to forget that little carrot in front of the stick is a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And when you do something good to get something good and get that positive reinforcement, that's a huge thing. Especially with like social media nowadays, the little bit I pay attention to, there's a lot of bully stuff. You have to look a certain way. You have to view it my way, otherwise you're nobody. So to be able to let them know you can have your own opinion, you are a good person, and you can do good. You're gonna fail. They say the smartest man in the world has made the most mistakes because we screw up, but that's how we learn.
That is so true.
Man, I got this like electricity. I got zapped a few times, and then you learn what not to do. So that's how it is. Same thing with carpentry. You put the board in the wrong spot, or you cut the wrong length. You can't stretch a piece of wood. I mean, you can't do a little point, but I mean, you can't add an inch to a piece of wood. So you learn to read the tape measure twice and cut once. So there's things you learn that you make mistakes. And some of these kids like me, I just was under the impression, well, you screw up, you're a piece of shit. You can't do it. You got to do it right away. No, you don't. You have the opportunity to screw up.
And I think that's what's wrong with half of us today, that we was under the radar, that if we mess up, we like jacked up forever. Like if I mess up, I'm jacked. We can never recover. And that brings trigger points to when we get older. We don't know it, but it do. In sociology, it always say you got to relive your past and go back to it and be like, what could I would have fixed?
It's like I told you with the building character I took and the thinking for a change, the cognitive. That's our backstory. Our backstory is who we are. We were raised to believe a certain thing. We were raised to do certain things, and that's how we are. That's our backstory. So we have to be able to look at our backstory and say, was this good? Was that the right way to be thinking? Was that the wrong way to be thinking? Wait a minute. So let's take a good look at that and an unbiased look at that. So that to me is what we really need to do. We really need to focus on.
Hey. You good? Yeah.
Just guys coming in and out. Yeah. Well, every time we leave, we got to sign a piece of paper, and then Miss Birdie's got to put it in the computer, and then when we come back, she's got to make sure we're here and go through our stuff, and it's I did it, and that's the biggest thing. I have no one to blame but myself. It was a lot easier when I blamed other people, but then the truth is it was my fault. So it's like, damn, okay.
Yeah. Did anybody else have any more questions to ask? Hey, Bless Child.
It was good, sis.
All right. I don't know. He just disappeared. He must be on the phone.
Oh.
Yeah. So, in closing remarks, what do you want people to know about you?
That, let's see, that's what I want people to know. I'm not my past.
Mm-hmm.
My past is part of me, but that's not who I am.
Mm-hmm.
I'm, like I said, I was a 17-year-old kid. I'm not that kid anymore. I did a lot of inward searching to make sure that I came out the other end a good man.
Mm-hmm.
So, and that's the biggest thing. I think once people kind of get to know me and they see me, they're like, oh wow. Like a lot of people will say, I can't believe that was ever part of you.
Mm-hmm.
Me neither. So I guess that's what I would like people to see is just, and that's with everyone. Look at people for who they are, because we all can be knuckleheads.
Mm-hmm.
We all have knuckleheadedness in us. We just need to make sure that's not a dominant trait.
So true. Did anybody else have any questions to ask or add to the story?
I just want to say that I'm glad I came here tonight. Clay,
Yeah.
If I didn't know your story, I would have never put you in that, predicament, because you sound very intelligent. You carry your conversation confidently, and you are very transparent. I can tell that you are real. You're not faking the funk. You're not just making something up. And that's what we need, and that's what the youth are going to need to see.
Yeah.
So my heart is rejoicing to know that prison, it did change you, and it changed you in a very great way.
Yes.
It reformed and it changed you. It didn't do it. You did the work yourself.
Right.
Step back. You did the work. They didn't do it. They just had you there, gave you a roof and some food.
Right.
You did the work.
Right.
Because not everybody that go in there do the work.
Right. Well, it's hard.
It's not them.
Yeah. It is really hard. Like I said, I had to fight to get multiple degrees because technically you were only supposed to get one. But my argument was I have enough time to get more than one, and I don't want to be a one-trick pony. I said the DOC's whole goal is, they say, to reduce recidivism, to make sure guys ain't coming back. Well, let me get as much as I can from you guys. Let me get more than one skill.
Mm-hmm.
And they couldn't come up with an argument for it, so they let me get 4 college degrees.
Mm-hmm.
So, like I said, sometimes you got to fight common sense, or set, policy with common sense. And sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't.
Any more questions? No more questions?
Thank you for showing up.
1 minute.
Yeah.
I'm Miss Tasha.
Hello.
And Miss Birdie, I am so glad I was able to come into your room today. It has been so informative to hear from, someone that has did so much time. We don't get these stories, just in our everyday life, So I'm very thankful today to have heard from Clay, through you. And I just wanted to let you know, Clay, you are needed here.
Well, thank you. That means a lot.
Mm-hmm. Blessed child, did you have any more closing remarks? Did you have any closing remarks?
Man, it's be you, man. To accept to God, be you.
Right.
And knowing without change, but before you always know that.
Yeah.
But the goal is to change. See life as it is.
Yes.
In progress.
Absolutely.
And how we do that? We do that, but we not only study others, study ourselves, study history.
Yeah. It's true.
We study history, you know that, man. Education is the key.
Man, that is so true. So true.
Don't be scared.
No.
Because the more you know, the more you say less. Because the more you know, they own you.
Yes.
So they fear knowledge.
That is 100% true. That is 100% true.
They fear knowledge, man. To the faith of God, man. You can do anything you want, man. Don't let nobody tell you, hold you back,
Yep.
do that. We all gonna go through our trials and tribulations.
Yep. Well, and we have to be okay, like I was saying before, we have to be okay with failing at times, because when we fail, that just means we're learning what not to do. And like I said, a lot of the times when we get tripped up, we give up. And we can't allow that, especially when it's towards a good goal. We really need to be able to push forward. And like you said, that's the whole thing, is about trials and tribulations. We're gonna have tough times. That's life. Yep. It's how fast do you get yourself back up? Yes. 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 Nope. Yes. Man, amen to that one.
Hey, Mr. Nick, how you doing today?
Birdie. I'm in Birdie.
How you doing today?
Hi, Natasha.
Hey, Nick, how is that class with the kids coming?
Good, and I'm working on, believe it or not, God has me, the Spirit has me working nonstop. I am working on 57 different projects. And each and every project has to do with the youth. So God has me working nonstop on projects. I have 57 different projects. The workshop is one, and now I have 56 more projects to create. And starting on February 10th, I'm bringing here on Instagram on Instagram and on Clubhouse. Here on Clubhouse, I'm bringing a new thing I'm doing. It is called the Voices of the Youth Showcase. So it'll be here on Instagram. No, here on I keep forgetting. Here on Clubhouse. But there are safety measures in place. So in that room, I'm going to be having about 7 or 8 moderators helping me moderate the room, helping me make sure the room stays safe for those children. So if anyone has a child that they want to bring to the room, February 10th is the day for the showcase, where it's a day for where you can showcase if you're a poet, if you're a singer, if you're a singer or a poet.
You're following what I used to do.
It's all about
I used to do this.
voices of the children, out there, the voice of the youth, out there getting their art out there.
Okay, catch it up.
That's when the devil if you speak, you use your voice. So that's where the light comes in. But when you are stuck in that silent state of mind, and you're silent, and you were stuck in that shell, that's where there's no light, there's only darkness. And so it's when we speak and use our voice that we tell the devil that he can't come in. And that way the devil won't be able to come in your life as long as you create change. And a lot of people don't know is how much my project, how much my workshop can help these children, because by them learning to write poetry, if let's say the child's in an abusive household and they're afraid that they can't go to anyone in their family, so by that child writing down their emotions and what they're experiencing, they can give it to their friends, and their friends can show it to the poem to their family, and the family of their friends will see that this child is experiencing abuse, and so the family will could probably call for help, call the Child Protective Services, and go to investigate that house and make sure the child is safe and that that child is not experiencing what was put in that home. And so by me doing this, I'm also helping these children who have been bullied, who have been abused, and helping them, saving their life from being furthermore hurt and in pain. Thank you, Ms. McWalter. And it is just me, and to quote Ms. Birdie's organization, it's just me doing my own thing. Thank you. And just like it says up there, love plus joy isn't easy. And going from hate to love is hard, but going from love to hate is easy. But we can always come back towards love and find the light. Thank you. This is Nick Butler saying peace, love, and glory be to God.
Well, I want to say this one thing about my sister. Miss Bird, I call her my sister. I really call her my sister. Yes, we met on the clubhouse, but really she's like my sister. Yes, we was on different rooms together for a minute. But yeah, I really talked to her on here, but that's one person I can say I trust. You feel me? This is the first person that brought kids to Clubhouse. You feel me? Brought kids to Clubhouse. Respect. Now, I don't trust everybody that I've been on. I keep it real with you. I don't be on Clubhouse like that no more because, one, my business. That's a fact of my business. Two, I see demons. I'm gonna keep it real with you. If I tell everybody, humble yourself. Once you humble yourself, sit back and listen and observe.
Mm-hmm.
Nah, we've been in the same room. Nah, I don't trust everybody. Because I listen to how a person speaks. It's not about how many people you could bring to the room. Ain't about how much money you could make off the people that you bring to the room. When my sis did, it wasn't about that. It was about the kids. It was about the kids. She's the first person that did that on Clubhouse.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
On Clubhouse. Like my sister, she be on Clubhouse. I really be on Clubhouse. So for me to be in the same room tonight with her,
Okay.
we barely speak. But to be in the same room with her right now, man, it's glorified.
Mm-hmm.
I say glorifying God, talking God, working. Just because we don't be on here in the same room, offer like that no more, it don't matter. There's no. She on there and I'm on here at the same time, I'm showing up. So I big up my sis, man. Love you, keep the good work going on, and stay focused. The devil's working. It's like God working. The devil's working. And we've been on certain platforms. I'm gonna keep it up. And I'm on the same platform. When I do pop up on here, I say what I say.
Mm-hmm.
I don't bite my tongue for nobody. But this one person right here, I could say, genuinely, is one of the realest persons, man. And like, I co-sign it, back it up with my life. Love you, sis. Keep the good work up, man. And I yield my mic.
I love me some Blessed Child. Thank you so much, Blessed Child. I love me some Tasha and I love me some Nick. Yes, with that being said, I have like 4 weeks ago, I wound up being a foster parent. I'm a foster parent, but I wound up getting a bonus child, another bonus child, and her mom was getting into it. But the thing with that being said, the child has a story, and everybody is covering this child mouth from the story. And her mama got word. Her mama got word that I will let her tell her story, and I will help her advocate for her story. You was a part of her story that hurt her, and you want to sugarcoat that you did hurt your child. You need to just man up and be like, well, I'm sorry that I hurt you. Not you didn't do it. You didn't do it. So it's many times in our life we got to go on our own and apologize to our children. We have to apologize to them. If I said something wrong, just tell me I did it, you know, and I apologize. But if they have to go ahead and do what you asked them to do, it's a different flavor. Okay, I said a little bit cordial, but I need for you to do this. If I was in the wrong text, but this is our way of growing. We grow when our child's able to say, "Well, Mama, that's wrong." You be like, "Okay, show me what's right." Like show me. So, but it hurt in my heart that this child is in a situation because it involves both her parents, and her mama like left her there for her other parent to basically take advantage of them. So therefore, the mama was in blame for it, but her mama is trying to sugarcoat it. But I pray for her every night, and I have the young lady praying as well because she's 17 now. She be 18 this year, and it's still a lot of pain. So, with that being said, she basically lost both her parents because how will she ever trust her mom again? And she definitely don't trust her dad. So it's real stuff that's going out here in this world. It's real stuff. And we just got to be prayed up and hug on our babies plus other babies and let them know that they are loved. Because these children only want love and somebody to see them, actually see them. They want to be seen. And if they don't be seen, they're gonna show out. You like, I see you. Why you doing all that? But you didn't see them like a day ago when they was trying to show you what. So we got to be mindful of everything because he said if he would have had a role model, if he would have had a role model, he would have had a better life. So we got to pick some role models. Got to get some mentors. You know, it's opening everything up again. So we got to get these mentors and these extra uncles and aunties that we can trust. because we don't want the ones we can't trust, because we'll be in jail too. So I want to say I love y'all so much and thank you for supporting this room. I didn't even, like, I just said I was going to do it on Wednesday. And he said he wanted to tell his story. So I went ahead and told his story today. But my son going to tell his story too. Because my son did a transfer. He just got out for 7 years. He then became a rapper. He then did some shows. I done created a monster. Like he didn't get he's working on top of all that. So he gonna tell his story next week. So I'm gonna have for It Takes a Village, let people tell their stories. Let them tell their stories and show out, like I think that would be our first through Black History Month. Cause if we tell our own stories, we healing our own self.
Yes, I'm excited. I can't wait to see your son's interview, hear your son's interview. I just wanted to give you an update because I know you were one of the people praying with me when me and my daughter had our little issues last year. And I just want you to know, if you haven't heard, me and my daughter are back in connections and working on our relationship. So just yesterday, we had that conversation, where, she's still hurt by my actions. So I'm still, doing the work in that area, but I'm up for it now. I'm not running from it. I'm not offended by it. I am up for it, and I'm going to be there every step of the way. That's my one and only baby girl. She's my oldest, but she's still my baby girl, and I love her to death. I just know I have work to do in that area.
I am so proud of you. I am so proud of you. Go ahead, bless y'all.
Man, like I said, I got something else coming up too, and I'm not bringing on everybody else's platform. I got behaving. You know who behaving is?
Yeah.
I got he on Clubhouse, and I'm on. Soon as I make it official, like we were talking the other day, I sent him a shirt for my clothing line. So we've been building for a minute. He on Clubhouse, man. So I think he bring a lot of knowledge to your shows.
I love that, blessed child. I love you.
Yeah,
I love it.
I talked to him like 3 days ago. In Boston, like this. No, not 3 days ago. Before that, when we were doing the show before, I was bring him on. Cause I inboxed him. Cause he's from Marcy, but he got ties in Trenton. That's how I knew him.
Mm-hmm.
But I think God didn't allow me to do that. But yes, I'm bringing him to him. It's concrete. I can't pick a date, but I can tell you this is concrete. And when I'm bringing to him, I'm bringing to you, to your show. That's concrete.
Thank you so much, Mr. Bless Child. I love y'all so much. You just don't know. Somebody was like, "Why we're not doing Clubhouse no more?" And I got to go ahead and start doing it. I got auditions this Saturday. I'm skipping over Valentine's Day weekend, but I got auditions, like 6 auditions, and my show is April the 7th through the 9th for the Kids Talent Show, so they can go ahead and express themselves. They need to express themselves because the only thing I see on Clubhouse, only thing I see on Facebook, TikToks is everything about grown parents. Like, where is the kid? And the kids getting in trouble for doing TikToks. So I'm looking like I gotta help my babies. These babies need to get out here and express themselves. So I'm always for the kids and plus the parents. That's just me. And I just want to say that I so much enjoyed this. So much enjoyed this time right now. And I'm coming back on 6 o'clock on Friday. I think the kids is gonna be on. It's gonna be a lot of kids in my house, so I told them they could go ahead and do a clubhouse thing on Friday. So it will be a lot of children, and we up the gun a little bit because we do Spanish translations too now. So I upped it. So even with the we just did the Toys for Tot. We did Spanish translations. I said now I need one more person that could do the sign language translation. So I said I'm gonna have them all doing everything because I'm finding their talents. I want to say I love you all so much, and I'm gonna have Blessed Child go ahead and close us down.
Father God, thank you for bringing us all together on this beautiful Wednesday. So together, not only for us, but the kids. Because as me growing up, I had people that in my life that led me against the things that I don't supposed to do. And that's what we need to bring to the children. We need to bring that back. We need to bring educating our children, showing them a better way. Ain't all about the change, the money. We need to let our children know, yes, it's good to have money, but you don't invest money, make money work for you. We need to bring the love and the loyalty.
Mm-hmm.
Not only for our children, for the parents. To let the parents know, ain't all about party on Friday night.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, as adults, yes, we want to have fun. At the same time as our kids come first.
Yes.
We choose our kids like God chose us.
Mm-hmm.
We need to be, as parents, women and men, we need to step up for our children. Let them know. It's cool to wear a suit. It's cool. Education is cool. It's cool to be a nerd. You let our children know it's not cool to bully.
Mm-hmm.
And this platform is for our babies, the next generation. So that our children know they're not a lost cause.
Right on.
But they're a gift.
Yes.
We need to let our children know honesty. Because when you got honesty and loyalty, you're raising a lot of good rebels. We need to let our children know it's good to be different. Have your own identity.
Yes.
And care for others.
Yes.
On that note, man, I ain't no preacher, but through the strength of God, God chose us. God chose us. To lead. At the old church back in the day, they used to go to the communities and speak out to the children. We need to bring that back, Lord. And on that note, I'm gonna end it like this. What was that song? I believe the children of the future. Not only did I believe in it, now to the truth of God, we need to make it happen and show these kids that they're the future. The new generation, the new governors, the new presidents, the new CEO. He just showed them that they could be anything in the world if they put their heart to it. But at the same time, God, we need to let the parents know that only way they could do that is they see it through us.
Come on now.
In the name of Jesus, I pray. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Amen. You gonna do the countdown, Mr. Blessed Child? You gotta do the countdown.
Okay, you about to end this in 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we out. Love y'all.
Mm-mm. So that ends my from the street to the prison to the streets. We got to train our children. Us as parents have to train our children. And we need to be apologetic if we do something wrong. I want to say I love each and every one of you guys. Many blessings unto you. I'm Miss Birdie. It's me, Miss Birdie. And my Tweety birds. Hey, my Tweety birds. Them is what they say. I got my little Tweety birds. Miss Birdie and her Tweety birds. So I love you all. And to all my little Tweety birds, have a good night. Good night. Good night. Have a good night.